Hello everyone, welcome to So Dramatic, where we're bringing fantastic ideas to life. Today, we're at Things I Found in a Box.
I'd like to kick off the year by sharing a project that I finished over the December holidays.
So I found a couple of these when I was looking through my embroidery stuff, and I had two complete already and a third one that was almost done. Now that one is also done and I just have one more to go. I was originally going to make some cushion slip covers out of them, and I wanted to use Burgundy to go with the color strawberry. And this is a pattern that I adapted from a black workbook that I have. I also thought about maybe using these stripes, because what's going to happen is this part will be cut out. This has been made over large on purpose, and then there'll be a triangle of a color just in these quadrants, and then another triangle over here. And I thought about using some hunter green I have for this, but I think it would look too Christmassy, and I'm just going to stay with the burgundy. If I want to put hunter green with it later as another accent in something else, I may do that. But then I found this in the drawer. Look at that. It's gorgeous. So nice.
Here are all the fabric pieces I'm going to be using. I did change my mind about the hunter green, mostly because it really worked well with what I was doing. It does look a bit Christmassy, but you know what? I love hunter green and burgundy together. So it's just gonna fly the way it is, and I think it will be gorgeous when it's finished.
So the white squares are pre-cuts. They're 5-inch, and they'll fit about like that. Before I do that, I want to very carefully remove all of the tape. This is so that you don't sew through it. It served its purpose in preventing the edge from fraying, and now we're ready to put these on the back of here. Oh, and don't forget to take the tape off the back end, because it does wrap around. So one of the things that I found is that sometimes the fusible web tape doesn't do as well unless I heat up both sides of the fabric first. And this is being put on here just to protect the backing while I make the full cushion. Keep the iron in place and press for anywhere from 15 to 20 seconds. And that's ready to go.
Attaching these white squares to the backs didn't take too long. I'm being very careful with them though, so that they don't come apart before I can overlock the edges. I then brought them to the sewing machine for an overlock edge. I'm using an off-white thread so that it won't be noticed if any should show through once I start adding the triangle pieces.
The first section is done.
They look super cute. At first I thought the lines wouldn't match up, although I almost always have that fear when I'm putting these kinds of blocks together. I have to trust that the math is correct and everything will line up the way it's supposed to.
Once all the seams were sewn, you can see that right here the stitching does go over this backing, which is there mostly to protect the threads on the back of the black work piece that I've made. I think in future what I would do is make the backing the same size, so the 5.5 inches, and then do this overlock stitch through both layers so that I'm not just catching the edge here. It is nice, but still. So now I'm going to go to green and sew on the next section of this.
I have all my pieces in little stacks, and I'm putting the green pieces onto the main center piece right here. You can see that I'm lining up the point with the center of the motif so that even if the edges are a little bit off here and there, because of the way that that diagonal cut was done, it will still be centered on the piece and it will mostly come together. If anything's slightly off, it'll just be off on the edges, and I can just clip those when I'm ready to do that.
So I put the first one of these on, and you can see that it does overlap quite a bit. But I promise you, once we clip these off, and I can clip them off later, or I can do it right now. Sometimes you might want to do both ends, this one and that one, and then use a rotary cutter to really make a true edge, but I'm just clipping an edge because that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to put that on there. Now you can see here that the point comes just shy of the green, which is what we want. It's going to be either just touching or just like a millimeter or two over. And that is perfectly fine. Then we're going to put the green on the other side, which is how we did the first part. And we're just going to keep going around and around like that. Once we have it on this side, clip, clip, and then we'll do the other two opposite sides. You can just go around like clockwise, jostle around the block. But with this style of block, I like to go opposite, opposite, and opposite, opposite. And I think it's probably a hangover from woodworking class and the little bit I do know about woodworking, especially when it comes to, say, stapling a canvas to a frame, is you go opposite, 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 so that the tension is even crosswise on the green as you work. And I think that that gives my pieces a certain kind of balance, and I really, really enjoy it. So here it is. We're going to press it. Open it up. There you go. And you can see the magic of that there. The point barely touches, and these two fit perfect along this line and this line. It's coming together really well.
For this last piecing cycle, I'm lining the point up with the center of the motif as I have throughout to ensure that the pattern is as balanced as possible while the viewer is observing it. On a side note, I do have a pile of pinkish extras. I cut them to the center triangle size instead of the next size up, quite by accident. That's the reason I needed to use the hunter green fabric, after all. I just didn't have enough of anything else to build the middle triangles out of. That was quite a happy accident. I'm very much in love with the final colorway, and so it worked out. Sometimes you just have to embrace your mistakes in order to make something really beautiful. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.